You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, you guys. Salute to everybody tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come on in the building. Appreciate all y'all that's going to join this stream, man. Salute to everybody who sent donations early on the live stream we did today for the Tupac Shakur murder trial, man. As, man, bro. At first, I thought yesterday, to be honest with y'all, I thought Keefe D's lawyers won yesterday. I thought that his lawyers uh, made a lot of great, debunking of some of the evidence with the prosecution. But man, oh man, oh man, bro. Today, man, the prosecution, man, today, I'm telling y'all, man, it's bad, yo. It they bro, they brought Mob James up there today. And Mob James all but ended Sean Diddy Combs and all these other dudes. He all but basically he went up there and verified that this is an East Coast West Coast beef. And it's Diddy Suge East Coast bad boy uh, bad boy, uh, Death Row beef, and Mob James went up there and let it all hang today, man. I mean, bro, he was so convincing. He's the type of witness that you can't take away, bro. And without trying to destroy Keefe D, he destroyed Keefe D, and also he implicated Diddy. He talked about other figures. Mob James. I told y'all this earlier in the video I did. A lot of y'all didn't see that video because y'all didn't get the notification. What Mob James did today, bro, I am thinking from the witness list, from the fact that because I heard Gene Deal's interview today on Art of Dialogue. Shout out to Gene Deal. Gene says what I thought. The only reason why they calling Gene up is to link Diddy to the situation. That's the only reason why they want Gene to come to testify. What you saw from Mob James today, bro, you cannot fabricate that shit, man. The prosecution is extremely happy with what Mob James did because even though Mob James didn't say, "Hey, I saw Keefe D in the car" or nothing like that, his testimony was so harsh. And then when Keefe D's lawyer made a huge mistake today, man. He made a huge mistake today, bro. By him keep going back at Mob James, what Mob James told him, "Hey, bro, don't ask me nothing. I'm a hostile witness." The fact that he kept on digging at this dude, bro. I'm telling you, man. Mob James said, "Look, man, I'm not trying to send your client to prison." When he said that in front of the jury, bro, you could see the look on Keefe D's face. Keefe D knew he was done, bro. Keefe D knew he was done. And Mob James said, "Yo, get your lawyer, man. I ain't trying to say, I'm not trying to go into all this." Bro, and Mob James said the only reason why he was up there is because they forced him through the subpoena and told him they was going to hold him in contempt. He's like, "Man, I'm a grandfather. I got grandkids, man. I'm 61 years old, man. I ain't got time for all this. I don't want to be here. Tell your lawyer, don't ask me nothing. I'm not trying to implicate you." The lawyer kept asking, kept digging away, man. That shit was crazy, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it. But the fact that they put in Diddy and the fact that Gene Deal went on the Art of Dialogue today and Gene Deal said, "Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? The only reason why they going to want me to go up there is to link Diddy to the situation." To me, I think that this is horrible news for Diddy because I think they're trying to somehow link Diddy into this too. Now, remember what Suge Knight told TMZ. He told TMZ that Keefe D wasn't alone. He told TMZ Keefe D told on himself, but he wasn't alone. That he had other help around him. Bro, listen, they can still use those interviews in court against Keefe D. Even if Suge don't want to testify, they can still use his what he said to TMZ. Because remember, they're using what Keefe D said on the internet against him. That's bad news, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. To me, they baking a cake for Diddy, bro. I see that cake being baked right now too, bro. They are baking a cake for Diddy. And if I was Diddy, I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. I would be very concerned if I was Sean Diddy Combs about what the hell I heard today in court and how they're angling this thing right now. And them the fact that they keep bringing his name up, which you knew it was gonna get brought up, but the fact that they keep bringing it up, if I was Diddy, I would feel very, very bad hearing from my lawyers what happened in court today. There's no way if you're Diddy, you don't feel a way about what you heard today. There's no way, right? You have to feel a way. And the reason why you have to feel a way is because they are targeting you. And the fact that Gene Deal came out, and I'm gonna play what Gene Deal said just a second. But the fact that Gene Deal came out, shout out to Big Gene, and Big Gene confirmed on the Art of Dialogue today, he said, "Man, the only reason why they want me to go up there is because they want me to link Diddy in this shit. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. And then when you got Mob James, they asked Mob James, and Mob James talking about the bad boy, death row beef. Bro, it seems to me that they're not just going for Keefe D. It seems to me that they're gonna try to link Sean P. Diddy Combs in this whole thing. I ain't never seen. Listen, I thought Cornelius Smith was testimony in the Young Dolph trial was crazy. I ain't seen, bro. What Mob James did today, bro. By Mob James not even wanting to give up names and snitch on Keefe D like that. He buried Keefe D, bro. He buried Keefe. Bro, his testimony was so powerful today, bro. He buried Keefe D, bro. And the way he was going off, you could not fake it, bro. You could not fake it the way he crashed out today in court, bro. You couldn't fake that shit, man. They got a real Keefe D. His case was lost today with Mob James, man. I thought Keefe D's lawyer was doing a great job by picking at the story. But when Keefe D was like, hey, man, when Mob James was like, hey, Keefe D, get your lawyer, man. When he was saying that shit in court, like, bro, I ain't trying to send you to prison. When he said that in court, bro, that did it, man. I'm telling y'all, bro, that did it for the jury, man. The jury listening to that, bro, they gonna send that nigga to prison for the rest of his life. Watch what I tell y'all. And Diddy, they gonna come try to pack up Diddy next. Watch what I tell y'all this. I know what I'm talking about. Because I peep how they put Diddy in the whole play. Peep how they don't put Diddy in this whole play, y'all. Peep now. Because they got everybody talking Diddy in there. But what Mob James did today, bro, if I was Diddy, bro, I'm telling you something, man. That nigga Diddy ought to be very afraid what happened today, bro. Because what happened today, it was very damaging, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That dude who was defending the dude who was defending Keefe D's lawyer, he made a huge mistake today, bro. Keefe D's lawyer should have never cross-examined Mob James. Let me say this again. Keefe D's lawyer, once he seen how Mob James was talking, once he seen that Mob James said, yo, I'm a hostile witness. The fact that Keefe D's lawyer kept trying to go at Mob James, that was the biggest mistake he could have ever made. Because Mob James, he's gonna be the dude that turned this whole case around. He's gonna be the dude. Because if you be honest, he really was not trying to send this man to prison. Because Mob James could have went up there, got deep on everything, and told everything. Mob James just kept it to the basics to what everybody knew. Now people still mad at Mob James. At 60 years old, I seen people in there calling him a snitch, calling him a rat. I'm like, bro, the man is 60 years old, bro. He's trying to get past that life, man. Like, he not trying to have that life define him until he die. You know what I'm saying? People grow and evolve, but you know, in our world we live in, people don't understand that certain people grow and evolve and don't want to be a part of that shit no more like they was. Now, Mob James, he still kind of stuck to a code because he refused to give names. He refused to talk about bodies and shit like that. And you could tell it bothered him because he talked about all the dead soldiers, all the dead homies. You could tell that shit was bothering him, bro. His testimony was the most explosive I've ever seen, bro, in any murder trial. I'm telling you, bro. Mob James today, bro. If I'm Keefe D, Mob James sent Keefe D to prison today. Keefe D going to prison, y'all. He going to prison for the rest of it. And you can tell the look on Keefe D's face. The look that was on Keefe D's face today, man, Keefe D knew that Mob James buried him on the stand. But like I told y'all, and I'm about to play it for y'all in just a few minutes, Keefe D's lawyer made a huge mistake, bro. When he saw how they set up Mob James, when he saw how they set up Mob James talking about the East Coast, West Coast beef and shit like that, he should have never tried to cross-examine Mob James. Because when Mob James said, I'm going to be a hostile witness, you know what I'm saying? And then he apologized to that nigga. Yo, that's what really killed him. Hey, yo, whoever said in the comment section, I forgot that part. I was talking about it earlier in my video. When he apologized to him, bro, I'm going to tell y'all this shit, bro. That nigga, man, that sent Keefe D to that did more harm than anything. And I don't even think Mob James knew that him apologizing to that nigga was gonna do him worse. Mob James apologizing to that nigga did worse. That shit sent that nigga because all the jury was looking right at that nigga. And like I said, you talking about a lawyer making a bad situation worse, bro. If I'm Keefe D tonight, I am pissed at my lawyer because Keefe D's lawyer should have took the notice and said, I ain't got no questions for him. He not the dude you really want to get smoke with. Mob James know way too much for you to be on the stand talking crazy to him. He the dude, Mob James the dude you don't want to be talking to. Mob James is the guy you say, I ain't got no questions, Your Honor. Any hostile witnesses like that, and then you start talking crazy to them on the stand, he started, like, the lawyer made a mistake. He started talking crazy to Mob James on the stand. I was like, yo, this is the biggest mistake you can ever make as a lawyer. Because now you talking shit to Mob James, and Mob James can bury Keefy D, and everybody gonna believe it because Mob James from the streets. He not no dude that's gonna go up there and talk like he out here capping. You can tell his whole testimony was this nigga had the jury laughing. He had the jury laughing. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. When they are setting a cake for Diddy, I see the whole cake being baked for Diddy, bro. Because when he said that beef, bro, they said, I'm telling y'all this. I feel like they're gonna try to get Keefy D first. This is what I feel like they're gonna try and do, y'all. They're gonna try and get Keefy D. Then I feel like after they get Keefy D, I feel like they're gonna try and roll Keefy D into Diddy to get Keefy D reduced time. Watch what I tell y'all. From what I'm seeing, how they playing this thing, watch everybody what they say today. Because Gene Deal even said it. Gene said they want to call him up there to implicate Diddy. So if they're trying to call Gene Deal to implicate Diddy, right? What you think they trying to do when they asking Mob James about the whole situation? And Mob James told him, hey man, East Coast, West Coast beef. He said it wasn't even a street beef. He said this is a record label beef. So he already implicated Diddy in them. Think about how much shit. You think they're not going after Diddy after this case? They got to get a conviction in this case. Then they're going to try to go back. And get your boy. Watch what I tell y'all now. They're going to go back and try and get y'all boy. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell y'all, man. This is bad news, man, for y'all boy Diddy, man. This is bad news, man. You know what I'm saying? And then Mob James, again, he also destroyed Keefy D because Keefy D was pushing the narrative that Reggie Wright Jr. was responsible for Tupac's death. They straight up asked him that. He said, hell no, he won't be responsible. So Mob James seemed very credible. To be a street nigga, he seemed very credible, bro. His testimony is going to be what sent Keefy D to prison. And then I think what they're going to do is, I think they're going to try to enter enough testimony in this case to get Diddy lined up in this case. And then they're going to go back to Keefy D and say, hey, bro, you want to cut that time? Come implicate Diddy. That's exactly what I think they're going to do. Watch what I tell y'all this. I'm peeping their game. I'm peeping how they're playing, y'all. They're going to come back and try to get Diddy. Watch what I tell y'all this. They're going to come back and try and pack Diddy up. They're not going to let Diddy just walk off on this. I don't see that. I don't see them letting Diddy just walk off on this, man. And we're getting ready to play in just a second. We're going to play exactly what happened. We're going to play in just a second. We're going to play exactly what happened in court and what he said about Diddy again, because I want y'all to hear something. Because a lot of people missed this. And again, I'm going to show y'all what Gene Deal said today, too, on the Art of Dialogue. See, Gene Deal, he said the only reason why they want him up there is to put Diddy in on it, right? Now think about this. Think about this. If Gene Deal would have went up there, Gene could have buried Diddy. Gene could have buried Diddy. If Gene said he's not going up there. Gene could have destroyed Diddy. He could have buried Diddy. He could have went up there and said all kind of shit, right? But Gene Deal don't want no parts of that. And I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he like, yo, that's you know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. I know that shit had to bring up a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Just, memories about the past and that whole situation, man, that some people just want to just, you know what I'm saying, get past, man. But that situation, you guys, man, I'm telling y'all this right now, bro. That nigga Diddy, and y'all smash the like button, bro. Diddy's in big trouble. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Let me tell y'all this again. I don't care what nobody say. If y'all was listening today, Sean P. Diddy Combs is in major effing trouble, bro. That nigga is in serious danger. of going to prison for the rest of his life based off of this shit and based off of what they trying to do. Because once again, they've already mentioned him multiple times now, right? They already mentioned him multiple times, right? They mentioned him multiple times. So I'm looking at this shit like, bro, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I was thinking after day one, can't even lie, bro. Because Keefe D's lawyer was doing great. He made a huge mistake today, bro. That was the biggest mistake he made today, bro. Today, Keefe D's lawyer, he fucked over Keefe D today, bro. That was bad. Matter of fact, let's go pull this up right now. I want to pull this up right now for y'all. Hold on. I want to go to my computer. I'm gonna pull this up for y'all right now because I want everybody to kind of see what I'm talking about because everybody's not gonna know what I'm talking about until you see it. Let's pull this up right now. Hold on, let me put it on my computer. We're gonna pull this up right now. Right? Man, this is a horrific situation, bro. Damn, bro. I was just like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Yeah, I got a feeling they trying to line up Diddy, man. They ain't cause Gene, what Gene said today, let's play what Gene said first. I want to play with Gene Deal. Shout out to Gene Deal, man. I want to play what Gene Deal said first. And Gene could have buried Diddy. Hey, y'all, Gene could go into court and he could end Diddy. Real talk. Why y'all bullshitting? Gene could go into court and he could end Diddy. Why y'all bullshitting? Hold on, pull this up for y'all. We got to go to what happened today because this was wild, yo. This was wild. Shout out to my boy Art of Dialogue, man. This shit was wild today, bro. Hold on, let's play this. Hold on, you guys. I'll put this on the screen because this was crazy work, bro. Today, bro, bad day for. I know Diddy heard the word in prison. I know that nigga had to be hot. Hearing what happened today, had to be hot. I know that he had to be heated. Hold on. Yeah, he had to be heated, y'all. My bad. Let me take this off the screen. There ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way. Let me put this on the screen for y'all because I need y'all to see this. So, shout out to my boy Art of Dialogue, man. Gene was on his show. Now, we're going to go into what Gene said first, you guys. So, Gene was on his show with Art of Dialogue. Now, Gene told why he didn't go over there. Now, let's listen to what Gene said, y'all. Let's get into what Gene Deal said because what he said, I feel like is very important, too.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back, man. It's been a while, man. We haven't did an interview in like over a year, right?
Man, listen here, man. Suffering and taking bufferings, man, out here trying to get things right. So I know it's been a while going through a whole lot of things with the family and everything, man, and just lost my mom and some other things have been going on. But, I'm here, man. I appreciate you bringing me back on.
I didn't know you was going through all that, man. I'll definitely keep you in my prayers, man. I didn't know all that was going on. But I do want to ask you, Keefe D, a lot of people want to know if you're going to testify in his trial.
Well, they had my name, a lot of other people that they want to bring in, and with my name on the witness list, I found it funny. The only reason they would want to have my name on the witness list is to make some connections with Keefe D and Puffy.
Told y'all. Bro, they baking a cake for Diddy. Listen what I'm telling everybody listening to this video. They are baking a cake for Diddy, bro. Because Gene said this today. He said today to all the dialogue, he said this today. He said, bro, the only reason why they want me to go is they want me to link Keefe D to Diddy. Now, why would they want to link Diddy unless they coming after Diddy? Think about this. This is probably like the 10th time I've heard Diddy's name come up in this shit. Right? You don't think they're going after everybody alive? I think they're going one by one. I think once they get Keefe D, I think they're going to try and roll Keefe D. into Diddy to get Keefe D to get his time reduced because they know Keefe D don't want to do life in prison. So I think what they're gonna do is once they get Keefe D packed up, they're gonna roll him into Diddy and then try and get Diddy out of here. Listen to what Gene said again, though.
I'm on the witness list is to make some connections with Keefe D and Puffy, Diddy, Papa Diddy Pop, Sean John, whatever that dude, Brother Love, whatever he call his name, they're gonna want to try to make some connections with Keefe D and him. Did I ever see them talking with each other? Were they ever in the same room? Whatever kind of connections that they have, I think Keefe D has made statements. He has been around us on numerous occasions. I've seen Keefe D around us on numerous occasions, at concerts, in the hotels, several different places. I've seen them, gambling with each other, having fun. So if they bring me in on the Puffy, and it's only because they want to make some connections that Keefe D did have some kind of communications and did have some kind of dealings with Diddy. That's why they want to bring me in. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to Keefe D's lawyer, and he
now listen to this part, y'all. So Keefe D's lawyer called Gene, trying to get Gene to come in and speak for Keefe D. That's crazy. So Keefe D's lawyer tried to get Gene Deal to go speak for Keefe D. Listen to what Gene said. Keefe D lawyer told him. Listen what he said.
He wants me to come and testify, and I told him that I was not going to testify. I'll be telling the prosecutor the same thing that I'm telling him. I ain't coming in there on behalf of Keefe D, and I ain't coming there on the behalf of the prosecution to testify against nobody. I'm not doing it. You can't get me to go in there and testify. And if I had to sit down, you know what I'm saying, because they want to deem me a hostile witness or they want to deem me uncooperative, you know what I'm saying, and hold me in contempt.
Hold on, ma'am. You're not thinking right, ma'am. And I love you. Peaches De Leon, you're wrong. You said you would have subpoenaed everyone to testify. That'd have been the biggest mistake you made in your entire life. Let me tell you something. Mob James going in there as a hostile witness today. Him going in as a hostile witness today. And Keefe D's lawyer trying to question him backfire. It destroyed Keefe D. You can't just think that you're going to subpoena everybody and they're going to, because people can get up there and yeah, you can say not perjure yourself, but he destroyed Keefe D today. And if you're the prosecution, you don't want a witness to come destroy you on the stand. If you're the defense, you don't want these guys to come destroy you. Mob James, Keefe D's going to prison for life today. I thought Keefe D had a good chance after day one. The way his lawyer was picking shit apart with the girls, saying that Pac wasn't hanging out the window. The girl's window didn't get shot out. None of that. The girls wasn't screaming. The girl wasn't screaming, "Hey, Pac!" All that shit was allowed. Like, damn, Keefe D. And then Keefe was going to use the fact that the picture with the jacket, it wasn't wintertime. I'm like, damn, Keefe might get off. When Mob James went in there, Mob James said, treat me as a hostile witness. Mob James had to be listening to my channel because I was talking about that first. Before everybody. When Mob James went in there today and Keefe D lawyer started fucking with that man, game over, nigga. He buried him. He said, yo, I ain't trying to send your client to prison. When you say that in front of the jury, it's over, nigga. And then he kept trying to dig at this dude. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap, bro. He told that nigga straight in front of me, get your lawyer, man. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, that nigga was making Mob James mad. You can see the OG come out of Mob James. And the sap niggas called Mob James 61 years old. Niggas was in the comment section calling him a rat. Because he was forced to go testify. That man, a grandfather, he trying to live the last few years of his life in peace. He done made out the whole wars of the streets for niggas who ain't never been through the shit Mob James been through to call that nigga a rat. Think about that. And that nigga wasn't trying to give up hella names in the street. He wasn't trying to give up like exactly what the wars were. And Keefy D's lawyer came in there talking that crazy shit. Even the prosecutor, he was telling that nigga, hey, man, nah, I don't want to tell you this shit. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? He was keeping it like you could tell, bro. His testimony was so powerful, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And think about this. If what I think is going to happen, which I think they're going to double back and go after Diddy, they're going to bring Mob James back again to talk about the whole dynamics of that beef. Because they already see what type of, he's an explosive witness. Yeah, y'all gonna see, man. Even though he wasn't trying to tell that nigga, man, the way he laid that shit down today, man, they going to prison, bro.
They could do that. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there testifying for nobody, against or for nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I know I've said some things, regarding Keefy D and Puff on the internet, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there, to testify for what? They already got information. They already know that. What I'm going to testify to and for what? To establish what?
What did his lawyer want you to testify about?
Well, when I spoke to him, he just said, I said some good things about Keefy D, and he wanted to bring me in, to testify on his behalf on some of the things he had heard on the internet. You know what I mean? So, bruh, he didn't get into detail, but I'll tell you what I told him, you understand, about this whole situation. I said, yo, if you want anybody to testify, let me give you what you call a get out of jail free card. If he would get Phil Carson, the FBI detective who worked on Biggie's case, and he worked on some of the information on the Tupac case. If he would get Phil Carson to come in there and to testify, for the behalf of the defense to prove how they set this whole thing up with Keefy D, how they faked the proffer agreement, how they gave them information, you understand? How they gave him information and gave him a script to read. I heard Phil Carson say this right out of his mouth. He's an FBI detective. He's talking about LAPD. He's talking about LAPD. Greg Kading gave Keefy D a script to read. So if you want to say, and everybody talking about he was running his mouth, he was doing this, he was doing that. He was only saying the shit that LAPD told him to say. He was given a script. Phil Carson said that himself, an FBI detective, bro. So if Phil Carson, who was a decorated FBI agent, said that Keefy D was given a script to repeat in a fake felonious.
Now, what Gene is saying, that let me know they was going after Diddy, because they tried to set him up to do the sting to get at them East Coast cats. And I'm talking about Keefy D. This is how you know they really want Diddy, bro. I'm telling y'all this. They keep saying this nigga name in court. Mob James, we're going to talk about what he said in a minute. Listen to what he said, bro. Everybody keep talking about Bad Boy and Death Row. I'm telling y'all, you need to put the pieces to the puzzle together.
Felonious proffer meeting, then that's his witness. That's his get out of jail free card. They ain't got nothing on him. It is what it is. So I told Keefy D,
and see, that's the thing. I would agree with Gene after I heard what I heard yesterday until today. What Mob James did today, bro, let me tell y'all something, man. I'm going to say this to everybody listening to this video, bro. I'm going to say this again to everybody that's listening to this video, bro. What Mob James did today, bro, that nigga ended that dude, bro. Mob James ended old boy today, man. That shit was curtains today. What Mob James did today, bro, let's talk about what Mob James did, man. Because what Mob James did, bro, that shit, man. And when they asked that nigga about Diddy, I was like, what the fuck? I was sitting there thinking about that shit. I was like, damn, bro. What the fuck is going on? Well, let's get into it, y'all. And this is where we get into the part where we're going to talk about Mob James, right?
Did the number?
Hold on. Now we get into the Mob James part right now. Now, listen to what they asked Mob James, y'all. Listen to what they asked Mob James. This shit right here, I'm telling y'all, bro. Watch. They're going to get Keefy D locked up. Then they're going to try and jam Keefy D into Diddy and tell Keefy D, hey, we'll reduce your years if you testify against Diddy. Watch. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Watch what's going to happen. Watch what's going to happen.
Was somebody by the name of Reggie Wright Jr.
Hold on.
McDonald.
Nope. Look at Keefy D face the whole time. Keefy D know he done. That nigga know he done. And remember, y'all, some of these witnesses were
All
hidden.
right, welcome back from lunch, ladies.
You might not have known all the witnesses.
Case in chief. Steve, who's your next witness?
James McDonald.
McDonald or McConnell? McDonald.
Look at Keefy D. That nigga like, man, what that nigga gonna say? Look at Keefy D face the whole time, y'all. Man, that nigga looking like, man, this is it. Mob James, get up there and look how Mob was looking at that nigga shoulder. He looking at Mob James right now. Look at him. Look how he looking at Mob James, y'all. And the jury looking at that nigga. The jury looking at him.
When you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
You may be seated.
Lord have mercy.
May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
James McDonald. JAMES-McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Mr. Paul, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McDonald, it's fair to say that you're here because of a court order. Is that right?
Right.
That you didn't volunteer to come or anything like that.
Not at all.
Okay. But you were instructed by a court that you had to attend.
Yes.
I want to ask you about September 7th, 1996. Were you at Club 662?
Yes.
What was Club 662?
It was a club that Shug bought and we operated it. When he opened, I was head of security through the neighborhood. Just a place to go and hang out.
Did the number 662 mean anything?
Well, to the new guys, that was part of our neighborhood 662,
Okay.
MOB.
Okay, MOB. And when you say MOB, there used to be before Apple iPhones and those types of things, when you had to have landlines and you press numbers 662, there would be letters under those numbers, and M and O would be under 6. Is that right?
Right.
And B would be under 2.
Yes.
So 662 would be MOB.
Yes.
Okay. When you talk about Suge, are you talking about Suge Knight?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Suge?
He lived in my neighborhood.
And is that in Compton?
Yes.
When you were at Club 662, you said you were head of security.
Yes.
Was somebody by the name of Reggie Wright Jr. there with you?
Not at that time.
No?
No.
When was he with you?
I got out of prison in 1988. She came and got me in 1988, like 4 days from coming home. Started another company, Burn Hill Records. Then Death Row Records came. Soon as Death Row was launched, Reggie came a few months after that.
Okay, so we're talking about the start of Death Row Records. Reggie wasn't part of Death Row Records initially, but you were.
Yes.
And then Suge Knight, was he the boss of Death Row Records?
Yes.
Was Suge from the same neighborhood?
From the mob,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Suge was. He was guilty by association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood. He lived in the neighborhood.
Katie, you out your mind. Katie, you're out your mind. They're gonna find that nigga guilty today. After what Mob James said, he gonna get found guilty. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He gonna get found guilty off what Mob James said. The hell you talking about in the comment section?
Great, welcome back from lunch, ladies.
By association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood. He lived in the neighborhood. We looked at him as somebody from the neighborhood. When he started Death Row and started to recruit us, then yes, he's from the hood.
So I guess there's a difference between living in on a certain street versus being from the hood.
Yeah.
And how would you describe that difference?
I look at it, you have three different type of friends in the neighborhood. You got gang members, you got gang bangers, and you got men that just guilty by association from living in that area.
And can you tell me what the difference between a gang member and a gang banger is?
A gang member hangs out. A gang banger handles his business and work. Do with the gang.
He don't want to say. He don't want to say that we kill people.
And what was your role with
Look at him.
Death Row?
Watch KVD.
I was the guy that if
Put in.
something happened, Suge would
You the cleanup
have you,
man.
take care of that.
Yeah, you the cleanup man.
Like Snoop Dogg trial, there was issues up there. I was sent up there to make sure those problems didn't happen again.
And are those problems, and I'm not asking you to get into specifics, but are those problems meaning issues with other people who might be gangbanging or might be trying to threaten folks? That type of thing?
Correct. Yes.
And you are somebody that Suge relied on to be able to protect his roster of music artists and other things like that.
Correct.
And after you were asked to help out with Snoop, did Snoop have any other problems?
No, we didn't have one issue at court.
That nigga said now I have one
Now,
issue.
I'm going to ask you, fast forward a little bit to, were you familiar with the Southside Compton Crips?
Yes.
Would you say they were somebody you were in alliance with or a rivalry with?
Right.
Okay. And would sometimes those that rivalry get violent?
Anytime you're dealing with the gang life, there's going to be violence at any given time.
Are you familiar with somebody by the name of Tupac Shakur?
Yes.
How are you familiar with Tupac?
He was assigned to Death Row.
And when he was signed with Death Row, would he also hang out with you guys?
He hung with my brother now. Yeah.
And
Not me.
Who is your brother?
Alton McDonald. Buntry Ave.
Did he went by Buntry?
Yeah.
Now, during this time, is it fair to say that Mr. Shakur had an issue with rappers from the East Coast?
Listen,
I think Tupac inherited the beef between Suge Knight and Puck.
there you go right there. What they gonna do is I try to tell everybody on the internet. They lining Diddy. Listen, cause your boy Gene said, hey, they want me to go up there because they want me to put Diddy in on it. I'm telling y'all what they gonna do. They gonna pack this nigga Keefy D up first. Then when they give Keefy D life, they gonna turn Keefy D and try and get him to testify against Diddy and go get Diddy. Watch what I tell y'all this. What they're doing is they're continuing to try to line this thing up by putting Diddy in the crosshairs. They keep talking about it. That's why he asked him that question. Listen again. Everybody has asked a question about Diddy. They keep doing that shit. And I ain't stupid. I know what they doing. They line that nigga all the way up. Listen what I tell you. They gonna line him up in this. And when they get Keefy D locked up, because right now Keefy D don't want to testify against Diddy because that puts him in on the case. So what Keefy D's doing is saying, nah, Diddy innocent. He know I'm innocent. But if they get Keefy D packed up and he got a life sentence, they'll say, hey, Keefy, man, we'll let you go home in 5 years. You give us Diddy. That's who we really want. That's what they're gonna tell Keefe. They're gonna see how bad Keefe D want to make a deal, and then they're gonna have Puff on trial. Watch what I tell y'all this. They talked about this nigga almost every single segment, except for a couple of them, and I'm peeping what they doing. And the thing is this: y'all talk all that shit about Gene Deal. Gene Deal could go up there right now and bury Diddy. They want Gene to come up there just to talk about Diddy. You know this. Gene could go up there right now and bury Diddy. Gene said he ain't gonna do it. He said Gene could go up there right now and I'm talking about change everything. But the way they going, bro, and the surprise witnesses they got, y'all, I think they got too many surprises coming up, bro. They got 200 people, bro. This shit finna get diabolical, nigga. To say Keefe D wasn't in the car, I'm sorry. To the people in the comment section said Keefe wasn't in the car. Shit, that nigga gonna take the L on this one. Cause did you hear what this nigga Mob James said today? Let me tell y'all something. It's something about being in a courthouse that galvanizes the jury. Mob James have galvanized the jury today. He had the whole jury in there laughing when Mob James was going crazy. They wasn't trying to kick him out the courtroom. Mob James crashed out, and you can see it was real raw emotion. And when he looked, this is the part that's gonna send Keefe D to prison forever. And I'm gonna show y'all this. When Keefe D's lawyer kept fucking with Mob James, and Mob James told him, "Hey man, leave me alone, man. I'm not trying to put Keefe D in prison, man. I know we from different gangs, but I'm not trying to see him spend the rest of his life in prison, man. Don't stop doing this to me." He said, "Hey man, get your lawyer, man. I'm not trying to put you in prison." When he said that, and the whole jury heard that, and that wasn't struck off the record, I'm telling y'all this right now, man. That nigga Keefe D going to prison for the rest of his life based off with Mob James. Even though Mob James didn't try and say nothing about Keefe D in particular as far as giving specifics and deep, it's over with. It's over with. It's over with. Listen to this.
Yes.
And then Suge Knight.
Let me play this again.
Was he the boss of Death Row Records?
Yes.
Play a part
Put in
again.
work.
Was somebody by the name of Reggie Wright Jr.
Hold on.
Did the number 66?
By association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood.
Listen what he said again when he asked him about Diddy. They always slide that shit in there.
We looked at him as somebody from the neighborhood. When he started Death Row and started to recruit us, then yes, he's from the hood.
So I guess there's a difference between living on a certain street.
To the man who said I'm an idiot, brother, I'm sorry. That brother Mob James' testimony today ended Keefe D. I was thinking Keefe D was gonna get off, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking Keefe D was gonna walk away, brother. But after what happened today, I'm sorry, dog. I'm gonna keep that shit real on my channel, my G. And that just is what it is. After what Mob James said today, Keefe D going to prison the rest of his damn life.
Of Death Row Records?
Yes.
Okay. Was Suge from the same neighborhood?
From the mob?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Suge was he was guilty by association.
Okay.
He wasn't from the neighborhood. He lived in the neighborhood. We looked at him as somebody from the neighborhood. When he started Death Row and started to recruit us, then yes, he's from the hood.
So I guess there's a difference between living on a certain street versus being from the hood.
Yeah.
And how would you describe that difference?
I look at it, you have three different type of friends in the neighborhood. You got gang members, you got gang bangers, and you got men that just guilty by association from living in that area.
Okay. And can you tell me what the difference between a gang member and a gang banger is?
A gang member hangs out. A gang banger handles his business, put in work, do what the gang do.
And what was your role with Death Row?
I was the guy that if something happened, Suge would have you take care of that.
You know what that mean?
Like Snoop Dogg trial, there was issues up there. I was sent up there to make sure those problems didn't happen again.
And are those problems, and I'm not asking you to get into specifics, but
Look how Keefy
are
looking at
those
that nigga.
problems meaning issues with other people who might be gangbanging?
Look how
or
Keefy
might
looking
be
at this
trying to
nigga, y'all.
threaten folks, that type of thing.
Correct. Yes.
And you were somebody that Suge relied on to be able to protect his roster of music artists and other things like that.
Correct.
And after you were asked to help out with Snoop, did Snoop have any other problems?
No, we didn't have one issue at court.
Now, I'm going to ask you, fast forward a little bit to, were you familiar with the Southside Compton Crips?
Yes.
Would you say they were somebody you were in
He
alliance
get
with? Or
right to
rivalry
Diddy.
with?
Right.
And would sometimes those that rivalry get violent?
Anytime you're dealing with the gang life, it's going to be violence at any given time.
Are you familiar with somebody by the name of Tupac Shakur?
Yes.
How are you familiar with Tupac?
He was assigned to death row.
And when he was signed with Death Row, would he also hang out with you guys?
He hung with my brother now. Yeah.
Ask him about, he gonna ask him about Diddy now. Watch.
Alton McDonald, Country Ave.
Did he went by Buntry?
Yeah.
Now, during this time, is it fair to say that Mr. Shakur had an issue with rappers from the East Coast?
I think Tupac inherited the beef between Suge Knight and Puck.
Okay, that was your perspective of it.
That's all it was.
There you go.
And we all fell. Some of us fell victim to it because we allowed ourselves to be a part of the BS, should I say? And that was a situation between record companies, not gangs. So technically, it wasn't our business. But when you had 20 men just fresh out of prison.
Now listen, what he just said is the same shit Keefy D said in them interviews. When Keefy D was mad in the Art of Dialogue interview, was like, man, that nigga Diddy, man, he fucked up my life, man. If I would have never got involved with this nigga, man, that wasn't even our beef, man. He was kind of smart to put us against each other. We're Crips, they're Bloods. Mob James on the stand saying the same thing. Mob James saying, man, that shit wasn't even our beef. That was music beef. We in the streets, we don't got any caught up in this. I'm telling you, the raw emotion he had, bro, that man, Keefy D, is going to prison for the rest of his life based off this shit. This testimony right here did it.
Of Death Row.
With base for
This testimony did it.
Of Death Row.
ready to
Of Death Row Records.
Yes.
Okay. Was Suge from the same neighborhood?
From the mob?
Now listen.
Yeah. Now, was there another gang that was associated with Bad Boy Records, the East Coast
Now
Records?
listen now.
Now, was there a
Yeah.
now during this time, is it fair to say that Mr. Shakur had an issue with rappers from the East Coast?
I think Tupac inherited the beef between Suge Knight and Puck.
They working on
Okay,
that
that
Rico,
was your
bro.
perspective of it.
That's all it was.
That murder Rico
We all
coming.
fell.
That shit crazy.
Some of us fell victim to it because we allowed ourselves to be a part of the BS, should I say? And that was a situation between record companies, not gangs. So technically, it wasn't our business. But when you had 20 men just fresh out of prison and didn't have a way of getting the things they wanted, getting a paycheck from Suge, we did almost anything and everything to get that paycheck.
Now, was there another gang that was associated with Bad Boy Records, the East Coast?
There you go, right there.
Puffy had?
The only one I know of is Southside.
There you go. Game over.
And did that escalate the tension between.
See, he linked.
Mob
Y'all not
Piru.
even peeping. He don't link Diddy to the bad boy. I mean, to the Southside Compton Crips in court. It's nigga. They get ready to hit this nigga with the Rico. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Stevie Wonder can see this shit coming. Stevie Wonder can see this shit coming. They finna hit this nigga with a whole new Rico. Cause now you got a gang member in open court. Now it ain't on YouTube no more. This is in open court. Them saying that, hey man, the gang members was hired and we was out here putting in work. And he linked them to the Southside Compton Crips. In open court. This ain't YouTube no more. This is in court, nigga. They get ready to pack that Rico up. They showing you. They say, oh, he had the Southside Compton Crips and we had that. Man, I'm trying to tell you this, man. That Rico is gonna be disgusting. I'm telling y'all this. And Gene Deal already said today, that's the reason why they wanted him to testify. They wanted him to line up Diddy in this shit. Try to tell y'all the whole time. Y'all think it's a game?
Was he also? Would he also hang out with you guys?
Yeah.
Now, during this time, is it fair to say that Mr. Shakur had an issue with rappers from the East Coast?
Smash the like button.
I think Tupac inherited the beef between Suge Knight and Puppy.
Okay, that was your perspective of it.
That's all it was. And we all fell. Some of us fell victim to it because we allowed ourselves to be a part of the BS, should I say? And that was a situation between.
That's why I kept telling y'all. He said that he linked the gangs to him. Game over. That's a Rico right there. Murder Rico.
It wasn't our business, but when you had 20 men just fresh out of prison and didn't have a way of getting the things they wanted, getting a paycheck from Suge, we did almost anything and everything to get that paycheck.
Now, was there another gang that was associated with Bad Boy Records,
with Bad Boy?
East Coast
Listen, y'all.
company that Puffy had?
The only one I know of is Southside.
And he pointed to Keefy D. That's crazy.
Did that escalate the tension between Mob Piru and Southside?
At the time, there was no at war, it was peace.
He said it was peace.
And when the two record companies got into
Now it's
Bad
war.
Boy went to Keefy D now, and
Bad
Suge
Boy went to
came
Keefy D.
us.
There it go right
So
there. Rico.
That intertwined everything.
This is why they putting the
We,
Rico together.
Yes, we had issues.
You watch.
Do you recall any instances that you were at where there were those issues manifested itself in terms of violence?
Are you serious?
Serious? Look at him. He asked him
right here.
everybody start laughing. Y'all see that, right? He said,
can't
"You
say
serious?"
that on both sides, when each neighborhood met each other, there was a lot of tension.
A lot of tension.
Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about September 7th, 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in Las Vegas
Look how
on
KPD
September
looking.
7th of 1996?
Yes.
Why were you in Las Vegas?
To run the security at 662, we were having issues with individuals that said that they were coming for whatever reason they was coming for and to come to 662. My job was to not let that happen.
Similar to the kind of security you were asked to apply in the whole Snoop Dogg situation.
It didn't have nothing to do with Snoop Dogg. It was, everybody came, well, Suge Bunch and them, his entourage, everybody went for the fight. My job and all of my people were there to make sure nothing funny happened.
Yo,
at
smash the likes.
662.
Over 1,000
So,
likes.
We were the fall guys. So if something happened, we was the one that's going to go to jail for it. Prepared to do that. So nobody else was going to come up there and disrupt it in that manner. But if anybody remember that night, it was so many Metro and everybody there. No, neither side could have did anything. So It was calm. It was peaceful.
So when you say there's so much metro there, you're talking about so much metro at Club 662?
It was police all over the place.
Now you said you were there to be on the lookout for something. What were you?
You said I was on the lookout for nothing.
I apologize. You were there.
Nigga
You were
laugh.
there in order to ensure there weren't any problems. Is that fair?
To make sure everything was good.
And because you had heard there might be some issues.
Right.
And what were the issues that you were concerned about?
Individuals coming up there creating an issue we was having with different sides of from what with Crips, period.
Yeah.
Man.
So you were worried about Crips. Not worried. I'm sorry. You were there providing security to ensure that.
Let me say this to the brother in the comments. Y'all smash the like button. The brother in the comments said that Mob could have played the fifth. If Mob would have played the fifth, they would have held him in contempt of court and locked him up. He already said he got a grandkid, bro. He's 61 years old, bro. Mob don't look like he got too many years left, bro. Mob said, I changed my life, man. Matter of fact, you could tell Mob has changed his life from the way he talked. But because gangsters, they don't usually talk like this shit. Like real talk. Real gangsters like that, they ain't, they're not really trying to, you know what I'm saying? But so now when you think about it, he's 61 years old. He's an OG. They threatened him that they was gonna lock his ass up. And he's like, yo, I'm taking care of my grandkid, bro. Like, if you take me away from my grandkid, nah, hell with that. So that's why he said he didn't want to give no real specifics. See what I'm saying? The man's 61 years old. They don't never want to let you move on and grow in life. They always want you to stay in that box, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? That man said that changed my life. I'm trying to be a different person. Bro, think about this. This nigga survived real wars out there. I want you to think about that. All them wars them OGs went through out there, bro, them was some real wars them niggas survived. If you survived and lived to now, nigga, you survived some real wars out there. That's real talk. You could die any day out that mofo. You could die any day. The fact that you live to see 61 and you can look back on this and say, damn, I made it through all of that. He's at 61 years old. Man, that man got a whole different perspective on life right now, bro. He got a whole, and he didn't do everything he could do. I'm about to show you why it's Keefe D's lawyer's fault. Because Keefe D's lawyer should have left that nigga alone. Keefe D's lawyer, and to the person who said it's not war stupidity, tell that to somebody who's getting out of prison that they can't get a job because they won't hire you, right? You got to take care of your family. You got to take care of yourself. So what them niggas gonna do? She'll giving me a check to stand on business, nigga. That's what any of them niggas was gonna do at that time. I'm getting a check to stand on business. Shit, them niggas was willing to put their life on the line for that shit, bro. It's like that OG nigga that was in The Wire, man. And they tried to clown that nigga when he got older, man. I forget his name, man. You know what I'm saying? But he had put in so much work when he was younger, man. He got past that shit. Then when it was time for him to put in some more work and off that young dude, he couldn't do it no more. He went to Avon and said, yo, that shit ain't in me, nigga. It ain't in me no more. That shit that run through you, that make you go, nigga, that shit don't make me go no more. And then Avon was like, man, I got to respect dude. He put in work. That nigga Mob James, these niggas who ain't never did nothing. Yeah, Cuddy, these niggas, they ain't never did nothing. They clowning Mob James, calling him a snitch, calling him a rat. Bro, that nigga got a grandkid. Bro, ain't trying to lose his grandkid behind this shit. If he taking care of a grandkid, he living with his grand. He said this shit on the stand, my nigga. They was threatening to hold him in contempt and lock his ass up. If he would have came up there and played the fifth, they'd have locked him up and held him in contempt. Think about that. He could have really told a lot more. They gave him immunity. That nigga could have went up there and talked bodies, all kind of shit. Names, he didn't even do that. He left all that shit out. But Keefe D, dumbass lawyer, came out, kept pressing with this nigga. Once you seen that he was on this type of time, man, I leave that nigga alone. Your Honor, I got no questions. He went up there fucking with this nigga, and that buried Keefe D. I'm about to show y'all this. What that nigga did on Cross, it buried Keefe D. Because you can't take that back from the jury. That moment was a defining moment of this trial. When he looked at Keefe D and said, bro, I'm not trying to put you in jail, nigga. Get your lawyer. When he said that shit in front of everybody, people felt that shit, bro. That's better than any fucking testimony that you can get pointing out anybody, my nigga. And that's facts. That's better than any testimony. He even told Keefe, I ain't trying to snitch on this man. I don't want to see this man go to prison. Y'all got me in here. Man, listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. If you got a grandkid, you take care of your grandkid trying to grow up and do the right thing. And they telling you, I'm going to take you away from your grandkid, nigga. If you don't come in here and testify, we're going to subpoena your ass, nigga. You never know what they got on Mob James they could bring back up on Mob James. Remember, ain't no statute of limitations on murder, nigga. Let me repeat myself again. Ain't no statute of limitations on murder. Mob James made it to be 61. You take care of your grandkid, nigga. You never know what they're going to pull back up on you, nigga. Mob James up here talking about what he was putting in, nigga. You don't think they know? Man, look at this shit, bro. Keefe D's lawyer made the biggest mistake in the world. And I'm telling y'all, they lining this Rico up on Diddy. Y'all smash the like. We should have over 1,000 likes. They are lining this Rico up on Diddy crazy, bro. And when I say Rico, they're attaching Bad Boy to a gang. Once you attach him to a gang and a gang robbery, and they can put that a gang member was responsible for a murder, now they can pin that on you and then package it up in a Rico. With Mob James sitting on the stand saying that, yo, Diddy had the Southside Compton Crips and we had the Bloods. The fact that there was a murder on that side and he linked that to them under oath, that's an automatic fucking Rico. That's a murder Rico too. And if Keefe D gets convicted, that's going to hurt Diddy even more because they're going to already have a conviction. And with Keefe D, they're going to make Keefe D, they're going to tell Keefe D, hey, look, bro, we'll lighten your years. You come in here, you testify, we'll lighten your years, man. You come here and testify. That's who we really want. Watch. Telling y'all that. That's why Gene Deal said today they wanted him to come in because they wanted him to line up Diddy in this shit. Right? That's why you got to watch and listen to everything. Now listen to what this nigga say. Because I told y'all, Keefe D's lawyer should have said, Your Honor, I have no cross-examination of this witness. You have to read the witness sometimes. The fact that he didn't read it, and then he made a mistake, he kept going at that nigga. I said, this nigga's an idiot. He kept pushing at, you don't push at Mob James. You saw how mad Mob James got at the district attorney? Then you sitting in there pushing at Mob James? Mob James fuck around and bury man, let's go. Let's go. This shit is crazy.
Why did he mind of a junior? He also would he also hang out with you guys?
It didn't have nothing to do with Snoop Dogg. It was everybody came. Well, Sheldon Bunch and them, his entourage, everybody went for the fight. My job and all of my people were there to make sure nothing funny happened at 662. So we were the fall guys. So if something happened, we was the one that's going to go to jail for it. Prepared to do that. So nobody else was going to come up there and disrupt it in that manner. But if anybody remember that night, it was so many Metro and everybody there. No, neither side could have did anything. So it was calm, it was peaceful.
So when you say there's so much Metro there, you're talking about so much Metro at Club 662?
Look how Keefe looking at that nigga. That nigga Keefe salty.
Now you said you were there to be on the lookout for something. What were you?
You said I was on the lookout for nothing.
I apologize. You were there.
Everybody laughing too. I'm telling you.
You were there in order to ensure there weren't any problems. Is that fair?
To make sure everything was good.
And because you had heard there might be some issues.
Correct.
And what were the issues that you were concerned about?
Individuals coming up there creating an issue we was having with different sides of from what with Crips, period.
Yeah. So you were worried about Crips. Not worried. I'm sorry. You were.
Look at Keefe, man.
You were there
that
providing security to ensure that Crips did not initiate any violence at Club 662.
Not just Crips, that nothing would happen.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. And then when you were there, was Reggie Wright Jr. with you that night at September 7th, 1996 at Club 662?
Yes.
What was Reggie doing there?
Reggie's job was to watch me and make sure I don't get in trouble. Everybody knew how.
Watch how he killed Keefe D. alibi.
Reggie.
Keefe D. tried to blame Reggie. Watch how he destroyed that.
Reggie was there to watch me with the people that was there.
And I'm guessing that you were not the only person there making sure there wasn't any problems at Club 662.
I'm positive it was 30, 40 car rules there.
And again, that was to make sure that there wasn't any violence that occurred at Club 662.
Right.
When at some point that night, do you learn that Tupac or Suge had been shot?
That night, yes.
Can you tell me how you learned about that?
Well, people was coming back and was explaining that Tupac and Suge just got shot. Everybody was in a uproar. A lot of people started leaving, trying to get over there on Cobalt. We couldn't leave because we didn't pay to do this here. It wasn't too long after people started coming back, like Heron came back and went to the hospital. The majority of the people was leaving and then coming back because that night they said Tupac was going to be all right. And even Suge came back with a little bandage on his head. And we thought everything was good. People kept partying.
So, and when Suge came back, you said he had a bandage on his head, but
the dude said he got shot, but he was grazed, a little scar, but nothing penetrated.
some people would describe being shot in the head, even
Well,
slightly.
he described it as that. I mean,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
All right.
People laughing, man. Bro, he got the whole crowd. today.
So when you find out, well, let me ask you this: was Reggie with you when you found out that Tupac and Suge were shot?
Yes.
He destroyed
And
Keefe D's
Did
alibi
it
right there.
appear to you in any way that Reggie Wright Jr. was coordinating the murder of Tupac Shakur?
Impossible.
He destroyed him.
I mean, and I say this because you're aware that there have been some conspiracy theories that Reggie Wright Jr. is responsible for the murder of Tupac.
And it's so not true. His father was implicated, and his father had something to do with it. Reggie Wright used to be a police officer.
He destroyed.
And
He destroyed
here
Keefe.
again, I've been knowing Reggie Wright over 50 years. His daddy, as a police officer, patrolling my neighborhood. He done took me to jail many times when I messed up. If Reggie killed Tupac, then death row is over with. Tupac was the money source. Tupac was that guy at death row. So if Reggie would have had a problem if he would have did that. And Suge, I truly believe Suge would have opened his mouth if Reggie betrayed him like that. So people say what they want to say.
After that night, do you stick around in Las Vegas or do you go back to Compton?
Well, I stayed in Vegas and we left that morning because we knew we was going to have neighborhood issues.
This is where he buried
And
Keefe D.
everybody left and went back to Compton.
Why were you thinking you might have neighborhood issues?
Well, you asked me some. The issues that we was having was heated, and Compton was on fire at the time, and things were happening. And me personally, staying in Vegas wasn't worth it. That man in the hospital, it's time to go and protect your home front and be prepared for whatever happened there. You know what I'm saying? Like the other side was being prepared.
Look at
and was
Keefe.
prepared to do things
Keefe know he buried him.
because Orlando got beat up in there, and that's something you don't tolerate. So you was gonna get some repercussion from that and everything else that was going on.
That
So
buried Keefe.
living this life, you gotta be ready. If you not, you might as well just lay down.
Now, you weren't there for the beating of Orlando Anderson at the MGM, were you?
No, I was.
He destroyed
We talked
Keefe.
earlier. You were at 662.
Yeah.
But are you aware of why Orlando was targeted?
Look at him. Look at
I'm
him.
aware of a lot of things.
I'm aware of a lot of.
Um,
The jury's
things
hearing
that
this.
was going on. People ain't talked about it in 30 years. Today ain't one of them. I don't mean to be funny, but here's the thing. A lot of things happen that night. A lot of things happen weeks and weeks after that night. Me or anybody else bringing up the dead is wrong.
That did it right there.
A lot of people got hurt behind.
To the brother in the comment section, y'all got to understand something. And I want to say this to all the brothers in the comment section. It says he hasn't buried him. You tripping. He buried him today. If you know anything about how court works, if you know anything about how a jury works, sir, a jury doesn't work how you think it works. A jury works with who do they believe the most and who's the most believable. His testimony related to the jury more than anybody else, hands down. I watched every other testimony. Nobody else's testimony struck with the juries like Mob James did. Mob James was so raw in what he said. And then when Mob James looked at that nigga and said, man, get your lawyer, man. I'm not trying to send you to prison, bro. That was it. That's on the record, my nigga. They ain't never going to forget that. When the jury looked at, they ain't never going to forget that shit, bro. This is what you got to understand, bro. You ain't talking about some licensed law people. You talk about everyday average jurors, citizens. When they listen to Keefe D, when they listen to Mob James told the story, bro, without even telling all the story. And when his lawyer kept digging it, he said, hey, man, look, man, I ain't trying to send you to prison, bro. To the dude who said, I said, he was getting like, he was supposed to. He got lucky and I can't help but the jury decide. They had enough evidence to, sir. So to the brother who said that, bro, he's still in prison right now, right? And they're going to pack his ass up on this because they already got a witness on tape linking him to gang activity and a murder beef. If Keefe D gets found guilty of murder, Sean Diddy Combs going to be facing a murder RICO trial. Watch what I tell you. Because they already have a dude under oath in the court of law swearing that this was a gang war. Listen. And that Diddy had the Southside Compton Crips. So if they can get a Southside Compton Crip who was rolling with Bad Boy, a conviction in court, they're gonna come with a RICO. This is the part you gotta understand, brother. This is the part you gotta understand, brother. That's why you think Gene Deal said today they wanted him to come in. The only reason why they want Gene Deal to go in because they want to line Diddy up. Gene Deal said it today on the Art of Dialogue. They wanted Gene Deal to come testify. Gene Deal wasn't in Vegas that night. Gene Deal had nothing to do with Vegas that night. Why the fuck did they want Gene Deal? You know why they wanted Gene Deal? Because he's going to line him up to Diddy. And I'm telling y'all this. You have to look at certain testimonies. People are not looking at this. Mob James' testimony today, out of all the people who testified, his testimony, this is over with today. I'm going to tell you something. I don't like to say this early. This shit is over. Mob James' testimony is going to stay in their brains forever because Mob James looked Keefe D in the face and told that nigga, I don't want to send you to prison for the rest of your life, nigga. Get your lawyer. The way he said that, the way that shook that courtroom, nigga, all them jurors knew he was trying to say that nigga ass. And that's going to forever stick with them. The way and then to put the cherry on top, he apologized to that nigga when he walked out the courtroom. The fact that he didn't even want to be there. And he let him know that. I'm going to be a hostile witness, man. Leave me alone. Yo, Keefe D, get your lawyer, man. He talking to him like they know each other from wars in the street, nigga. Bro, you can't, that testimony, you can't beat that with a stick. To the person who says this, you're not listening. We're talking about, when you talk about the jury, you're talking about everyday average people, right? So you have to convince everyday average people that this person's telling the truth. This man is telling you they had gang wars in the street and that these dudes was linked to those guys. And that the reason why they had gang wars and they went back to do the gang war in Compton is because of the murder of Tupac Shakur. Are you not listening? That's not true. Gene Deal said today, you're lying, sir. Southside ENC, you're lying. Gene Deal said today the reason why they wanted him to come testify because they wanted him to link him to Diddy. He said it on Art of Dialogue today in the interview that came out today. He said he said both sides wanted them to testify. He said that the prosecution wanted him to testify because they wanted them to link Puffy And he said that Keefe D's lawyer wanted him to testify because they didn't think he was going to bury Keefe D. He had said a couple good things about Keefe D on the internet. Go listen to his interview with All the Dialogue. Like I said before, bro, you got to listen to everything before you come on the internet just saying anything. You got to listen to everything. Gene Deal went on All the Dialogue this morning. That doesn't include, he didn't say Von Zip. He said they wanted Puffy. That's exactly what he said, brother. My brother, the one thing Ticket TV don't do, I don't lie, my nigga. I don't have to come in here and lie, bro. Play that shit.
Things have been going on, but, you know, I'm here, man. I appreciate you bringing me back on.
I ain't know you was going through all that, man. I'll definitely keep you in my prayers, man. I ain't know all that was going on. But I do want to ask you, Keefe D, a lot of people want to know if you're going to testify in his trial.
Well, you know, they had my name, a lot of other people that they want to bring in, and with my name on the witness list, you know, I found it funny. The only reason they would want to have my name on the witness list is to make some connections with Keefe D and Puffy.
Yeah, go right there. You think I'm lying? Keefe D and Puffy. Period.
Diddy, Papa Diddy Pop, connections with Keefe D and Puffy. Diddy, Papa Diddy Pop. I'm on the witness list
For the hearing impaired.
To make some connections with Keefe D and Puffy. Diddy, Papa Diddy Pop, Sean John, whatever that dude, Brother Love, whatever he call his name, they're gonna want to try to make some connections with Keefe D and him. Did I ever see them talking with each other? Were they ever in the same room? Whatever kind of connections that they have, you know.
Why would they want that from Gene? Because that makes a RICO stronger, because you got Mob James saying one thing, now you got Gene Deal saying this, and whoever else they gonna come in there and say whatever else they gonna say. Use your brain, bro. This is what's going on. I'm trying to tell you. They're trying to set that RICO up nice for Diddy. I'm telling you this. They're trying to make sure they have that shit packaged before Christmas, nigga. And I'm being honest with y'all, nigga. Y'all nigga need to listen. You need to pay attention to the details, nigga.
Imagine
For whatever reason, they was coming.
Are you aware of why Orlando was targeted?
Now listen. Listen
Listen
how you get quiet when he asks him about him.
Shot?
Yes.
And did it appear to you
Smash the like, y'all.
that Reggie Wright Jr. was coordinating the murder of Tupac Shakur?
Impossible.
I mean, and I say this because you're aware that there have been some conspiracy theories that Reggie Wright Jr. is responsible
That
for the murder
destroyed
of Tupac.
Keefe D's alibi.
And it's so not true. His father was implicated, and his father had something to do with it. Reggie Wright used to be a police officer. And here again, I've been knowing Reggie Wright over 50 years. His daddy, as a police officer, patrolling my neighborhood. He done took me to jail many times when I messed up. If Reggie killed Tupac, then Death Row is over.
Greg Gibson, I'm going to answer your question real quick. You're wrong, Greg Gibson. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. You said they're not spending money for no RICO? Yes, they are. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Tupac Shakur's family wants it. And I'm going to tell you something. After they this is what they have to do. They have to get Keefe D first. See, here's the thing. If they get Keefe D jammed up on a murder charge, now they can come after Diddy for a RICO. Learn law, brother. Learn law. It's not a cold case. Learn law. I want to explain something to you again. If they can get Keefe D on a murder charge, Keefe D was a gang member. He is linked to Diddy. If they can get him on a murder beef, and you have people in open court saying that this murder was caused at the behest of Bad Boy and Diddy, that is an automatic RICO. Because now you already have a gang member convicted of the murder of Tupac Shakur. Use your brains. So now what they do is they put the squeeze on all these other witnesses to come back in and once again repeat what they said in this trial, which is link the Southside Compton Crips to Bad Boy. Once you do that, that's how you link up a RICO. Once you add gang members to an organization and a murder was committed, and I'm going to tell you what they're going to do with that. Because this ain't it. To everybody who want to know, I'm going to tell you what I know. This going to be the Ether Napalm bomb. I'm going to give it to you tonight. It's going to get disgusting when they star witness come in there. You want to know who they star witness is to get Diddy? Gene Deal was only the appetizer they wanted. You know who the star witness is? The star witness is a man that used to be the president of Bad Boy Records. His name is Kirk Burroughs. When Kirk Burroughs walked into that court and lined Diddy up, when Kirk Burroughs walked into that courthouse and lines Diddy up into this, and if you follow my channel, I already showed you the lawsuit and everything that Kirk Burroughs said about Diddy in the deaths of Tupac and Biggie in the lawsuit. Kirk Burroughs was the money man. Kirk Burroughs is a dude Kirk Burroughs got more information than anybody that was around Diddy. Kirk Burroughs is the one that's going to really put Diddy in prison on a RICO for the rest of his life. Kirk Burroughs is going to go in there and talk about all the money that's on the books, all of his notes. Kirk Burroughs is going to go in there and blow this whole case to smithereens. And I don't mean in a good way either. Kirk Burroughs was right there beside Diddy. See, Kirk Burroughs is going to come in there and step on everything. See, this is the part people not thinking about. See, when I tell y'all this shit, when I tell y'all that the cake been baked, nigga, cake been baked. Cake been baked. When Kirk Burroughs go in there and that jury hear how detailed Kirk Burroughs is, when he start, because Kirk Burroughs kept notes. All these years he kept notes. How you think they got it that they said that the deaths of Tupac and Biggie are linked? That's why they told y'all today that they were investigating Keefe D for the murder of Biggie, because they had alleged that Keefe D got into it with Biggie and them over a money debt. But then Keefe D was exonerated from that. Kirk Burroughs gonna go in there, and Kirk Burroughs is going, bro, I'm telling y'all this right now. Kirk Burroughs is going to make sure he going to put Diddy all in this shit. Watch what I tell you. See, that's the part they didn't know. Is that, man, when Kirk Burroughs come in there, man, boy, that nigga Kirk Burroughs, and here's the thing about Kirk Burroughs. He did all the books. That nigga, Kirk Burroughs was the president of Bad Boy. He know where all the bodies lay. When they bring that nigga in court and he line that shit up, now you don't got Mob James. Bro, I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. That nigga Kirk, if y'all have never heard Kirk Burroughs talk, or if you don't know what Kirk Burroughs have accused Diddy of, Kirk Burroughs have implicated Diddy in the death of Biggie and Tupac. Oh, yeah. Kirk Burroughs implicated Diddy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna show y'all right now. See, this is the thing that people, this is why I be telling y'all, these motherfuckers come on the internet and don't even know what they talking about. Right? Right? They come on the internet, right? And don't even know what they talking about. Right? So let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show y'all right here on the screen. All right. Now remember, Kirk Burroughs was the former president of Bad Boy Records. Now I'm gonna show y'all this right here. Do y'all see y'all screen? Remember I told y'all this. Everybody's listening to this video. Remember I told you this shit. Let me blow it up for you. This to the dude who ran his mouth saying they ain't gonna spend no money for no Rico. Nigga, you smoking something. Kirk Burroughs is the co-founder and former president of Bad Boy Entertainment. Implicated Sean Diddy Combs in the murders of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. through formal legal filings and investigative documentaries. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. His allegations span from a landmark 2003 civil lawsuit to the Netflix documentary series Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Sean Combs has consistently and firmly denied all of Kirk's claims. Now, in 2003, Kirk Burroughs filed a $25 million lawsuit against Diddy, a racketeering lawsuit, a RICO lawsuit. The suit outlined his systemic misconduct within Bad Boy Entertainment and directly tied Diddy to the violence of the 1990s East Coast, West Coast hip-hop rivalry, orchestrating the hit. Kirk Burroughs alleged that Diddy orchestrated the September 1996 drive-by shooting in Las Vegas that killed Tupac Shakur. When they put that nigga on the stand, boy, it's going to get disgusting. He got all the books. The $1 million bounty. Remember this? Kirk Burroughs' lawsuit back claims that Diddy hired members of the Southside Crip Street Gang and placed $1 million bounty on both Tupac and Suge Knight. He fit to go to court and send Diddy to prison for life, nigga. For life. For life. So the person said, is it confirmed? Nigga. Is water wet? Is water wet? Is water wet? That nigga Kirk Burroughs gonna get on that stand, nigga, and sing like Aretha Franklin, nigga, in her prime. He gonna sing like Aretha Franklin in her prime on that stand, my nigga. You think it's a game? Once he go up there and he say this in open court, that Diddy hired members of the Southside Crips Street Gang and put $1 million bounty on Tupac. And remember, Kirk Burroughs, he controlled the financial records of Bad Boy. This is to niggas who ain't got no brains. Right? He stated he witnesses Diddy extreme paranoia and frustration regarding Tupac's success, allegedly driving a fixation to diminish his rival's influence. Right? He said Biggie never wanted to be an enemy of Tupac, but Diddy allegedly placed intense constant pressure on Biggie to record tracks responding to Tupac's disses, purposely escalating a dangerous conflict to market the label. Right? When that nigga get in court and talk about that check, remember, he was the guy who controlled the money for Bad Boy. So they can't say, hey, man, Kirk Burroughs out here lying. Kirk Burroughs controlled the books. Kirk Burroughs, for all those years, that nigga kept detailed records, bro. That nigga controlled the books for Bad Boy. So he knew where all the money was going. And if you ever heard Kirk Burroughs talk, that nigga's detailed. He's super detailed. But let's get back to Mob James, because Mob James destroyed this nigga. We got to get back to Mob James.
Events in Las Vegas, everybody knows. You're going to see Metro here, every block.
Yeah.
They was posted up, which they do all the time.
But you're telling me that as head of security, you do not know or you don't believe that Reggie Wright hired the Metro officers to come
I know
in?
for a fact he didn't hire the Metro police.
Do you know how many people were on the payroll that night from your security team?
Well, y'all do paperwork different than we did.
You can see that's how they
Our
believe him.
paperwork was getting cash money. Our paperwork was
Keefe
what they
D
call
mad at a mofo. Look how Keefe D looking,
We had
y'all.
at least
He mad than a
34
mofo. He looking at that jury. He
of
mad than a
my
mofo.
homeboys there. Reggie Wright Jr. and his security, his company, the people work for him, didn't have nothing to do with what Suge paid us for working. So that was two different entities, Reggie and Suge. The homies was there for Suge Knight. Reggie Wright hired his company to watch over Suge Knight people.
Right.
So his security did like the right thing. My security did what they ain't gonna do. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
The police gonna walk you out of there.
Mhm.
We gonna drag you out of there.
See, let me tell y'all something. Everybody's listening to this video. I'm finna tell y'all what's going on. Tupac's brother, Mopreem Shakur, his stepbrother. Mopreem filed a lawsuit, a wrongful death lawsuit. He named Keefe D. Everybody else he left unnamed. You know why he left them unnamed? Because he's waiting for this trial. Once his trial is over with, and everybody's testimony is in the books, he is going to unveil all those names that are hidden. And we know whose name is going to be number one on that list. This is the same thing that's going to happen in a RICO. The first thing the state has to do is they have to prove that a gang member committed the murder or was a part of a murder, right? So if they can put Keefe D on a murder beef and have him convicted on the murder of Tupac Shakur, now all they need to do is have those same witnesses link Southside Compton Crips to Bad Boy. And you heard Mob James say in open court that the only reason why they was beefing was because Bad Boy and Death Row. That's all they got to do to charge Diddy with a RICO. And then once you got his money man, which is Kirk Burroughs, that's the money man. Once Kirk Burroughs goes in there and testifies this, the dude said, okay, Johnny Cochran, you're going to see how it plays out, brother. I'm not lying to you. Once the money man, because your money man is still alive out here, Kirk Burroughs. Once Kirk Burroughs goes in there and says, hey, man, we did a murder for hire, Kirk Burroughs is going to take what they call immunity, so that anything he says in court will not be used against him, because Kirk Burroughs would have been a part of that conspiracy because of his job. Why do you think Mob James can? They gave Mob James immunity to say what he was saying today. What the hell is you talking about? So as soon as they get Keefe D convicted, they're going to go right after Diddy on a RICO, on a murder RICO this time. And this time you've already got somebody convicted of murder. And this time they're going to be able to squeeze on Keefe D and say, hey, Keefe, look, you want to get out of prison? You come here and testify against Diddy. We already got multiple other witnesses. What you think Keefe D going to do? Come on, bro. You think he going to sit in there for the rest of his life? Or you think he going to go home to his family? Then they got Mob James, who's already on the record in a court of law. See, this is why they had to get this in a court of law during their murder trial. So that means all that testimony, if and when Keefe D is found guilty, now they can use all this testimony that was used in a court of law that found Keefe D guilty to bring charges against Diddy on a RICO, a murder RICO charge, murder for hire. And there's no statute of limitations on murder. This is why I told y'all, even though Mob James, his testimony was crazy today, the most damning testimony is going to be from Kirk Burroughs against Diddy. Because Kirk Burroughs going to come in there and he going to line the whole thing. And guess what? Kirk Burroughs ran the books. They can't say he's a nobody. He was the president of Bad Boy Records. He controlled the books. He knew where all the money went. And he's going to go in there and give them details. He's already alleged that they set up the $1 million murder for hire. Didn't I tell y'all this already? He already alleged that. Y'all niggas thought it was a game when I told y'all that he already put it out there, that he alleged that it was a murder for hire. I don't told y'all this. I don't know why y'all don't want to listen, but it's the truth. That's what he said. Right? So he already came out and said that Diddy, right, orchestrated that. He said Diddy orchestrated that, right? Right? He already said that he paid $1 million for the life of Tupac and Suge. Right? I'm telling y'all this. Right? So once again, I don't think that y'all really understand how serious this shit is, bro. Is that real, my nigga? That nigga right there, hey, bro, listen. I know Diddy got to be hot, nigga.
What?
Now let's get to this.
So as far as you know, law enforcement wasn't hired by Reggie Wright to provide additional security?
No,
at
this was
Club
Metro
662?
posted up all over the place.
And so they were there specifically just like what, harass or just send a warning or what?
No, they were there. Like when you have events in Las Vegas, everybody knows. You're going to see Metro here, every block.
Yeah.
They was posted up, which they do all the time.
But you're telling me that as head of security, you do not know or you don't believe that Reggie Wright hired the Metro officers to come
I know
in?
for a fact he didn't hire the Metro police.
Okay. Do you know how many people were on the payroll that night from your security team?
Well, y'all do paperwork different than we did. Our paperwork was getting cash money. Our paperwork was what they call under the table. We had at least 30, 40 of my homeboys there. Reggie Wright Jr. and his security, his company, the people work for him, didn't have nothing to do with what Suge paid us for working. So that was two different entities, Reggie and Suge. The homies was there for the Suge night. Reggie Wright hired his company to watch over Suge Knight people.
Right.
So his security did like the right thing. My security did what they ain't gonna do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
The police gonna walk you out of there.
Mhm.
We gonna drag you out of there.
Drag you out of there.
So it was a difference, but not on the same paper.
Sure. And once again, the intent was to protect 662, right? To protect the club, protect the patrons that were going to go there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of your knowledge of what happened on that night, fair to say you weren't present when the shots had rung out.
No, I wasn't there.
Okay. And your testimony is that you had heard from other people initially that, hey, Tupac had been shot.
Yes.
And you had thought maybe other people were maybe relieved, thinking like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. He's going to be okay.
That's what came back to 662. People that went to the scene, and everybody said Tupac was talking. So everybody came back to the club saying he's going to be all right. So people just went back to, me.
Right. Now, in terms of the that night, you go back to Compton. You live in Compton.
Yes.
You still live in Compton?
No.
At the time you live in Compton, you go back to Compton, and you tell us that there was a lot of tension.
He should have left this alone. Biggest mistake.
Can you describe that for us when you went back in terms of what kind of tension we're
Biggest
talking about?
mistake.
You sure you want me to answer that?
That did it right there.
Is it going to be graphic?
No, I ain't gonna. I got to raise the word in it, but you asked me a question. I don't. And what I explained to them, I don't want to send him to prison.
Sure.
That did it right there.
Even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
That did it.
I don't want to send you to prison.
You to prison. He told him
So
straight up. He
that's
told him
why
straight up. Look
I'm-
at this, y'all.
Suge Knight people.
Right.
Look.
So his security
That did it right there.
did like the.
Say, you
the
sure
right
you want me to
thing.
tell you?
My security did what they
Once he
ain't
said,
gonna do.
you want me to send him to
You get what
prison?
I'm saying?
I get it.
Bro, listen.
The police gonna walk you out of there.
That did
We
it.
gonna drag you out of there. So it was a difference, but not on the same paper.
Sure. And once again, the intent was to protect 662.
That was stupid by Keefe D.
Protect
lawyer.
the patrons that were going to go there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in terms of your knowledge of what happened on that night, fair to say you weren't present when the shots had run out.
No, I wasn't
You
there.
should have left it right there.
And your testimony is that you had heard from other people initially that, hey, Tupac had been shot.
Yes.
He should have left
You
it
had
right
thought
there, y'all.
maybe other people were maybe relieved, thinking like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. He's gonna be okay.
That's what came back to 662. People that went to the scene, and everybody said Tupac was talking. So everybody came back to the club saying he's gonna be all right. So people just went back to, me.
Right. Now, in terms of the that night, you go back to Compton. You live in Compton.
Yes.
You still live in Compton?
No.
At the time you live in Compton, you go back to Compton, and you tell us that there was a lot of tension. Was there? Can you describe that for us when you went back in terms of
Dumb
what
ass
you were
question,
talking
bro.
about?
You sure you want me to answer that?
That killed him right there.
I don't know. Is it going to be graphic?
No, I ain't gonna. I got ways to word it, but you asking me a question. I don't. And what I explained to them, I don't want to send him to prison,
Sure.
even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you.
Look how that lady looking at the jury, y'all.
So that's why I'm here where I'm at and the way I am, because I changed my life. I'm raising my grandkids, teaching them never to be like their papa. And here I am explaining to people what I used to be, and I'm not proud of that.
That did it, man.
I'm not proud
That
of
lawyer
that at
should have
all.
never asked that
And
question.
you asking me questions that can hurt him, and I told them,
Bob James
I'm
looked
trying to
credible.
avoid to answer the questions that they might look at me and say something is wrong.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me help you out with this.
Thank you.
So these people right here, what they want to know from you is, did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct. So outside of that question, right? The next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a
Stupid
Southside
question.
Crip shoots
Stupid
a Pyro Blood, and then a Pyro Blood shoots a
Look how he looked at
Southside
him.
Crip? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Do I answer this?
That's a straightforward question. It's a yes or no answer.
Okay,
Did you see that?
when I was a part of that life, I was a part of that.
Once again,
And I was because you asking something that's gonna hurt this dude. And
That killed him.
when okay, let me
Raw emotions killed Keefe D.
and once again, I want to emphasize.
when we got back to Compton,
Okay.
it was a gang war. People were getting hurt.
Okay.
People was being sought. People were looking for certain individuals from his neighborhood,
Okay.
as well they did mine.
Okay.
But Orlando, him, and certain other people were being sought because people wanted to kill them.
Sure. Were they the
I
only
did
ones that they wanted to kill?
People
No,
wanted
no,
to kill.
no,
Look how you looking at him.
In here, no, they wasn't the only one.
Okay.
It's his neighborhood in particular.
That's right.
But
No, that did it. You see how Keefe D was looking at that nigga? Keefe D know he's done. That testimony right there, when he said, yo, people wanted to kill him. Why would they want to kill him if he ain't had nothing to do with it? Bro, that whole jury was looking like, yo, that nigga's guilty as fuck. And the way Keefe D was staring that nigga down, bro, the way Keefe D was staring at that nigga when he said that shit, bro, only a fool would think that they're not gonna find Keefe D guilty. They're gonna find that nigga. That right there did it. That lawyer was dumb as fuck. He should have left that nigga alone. Once you see he going down that route, no further questions. But he kept fucking with this man, bro. And that brought out the raw emotion, bro. And that killed Keefe D. I'm not even thinking about nobody else's testimony. That testimony right there killed Keefe D, bro. And when Kirk Burrows come in there, that's gonna be the DDT. That's gonna be the DDT when Kirk Burrows come in there. Or what you call the rock bottom, nigga. However you want it.
Suge paid us for working. So that was two different entities, Reggie and Suge. So that's why I'm here where I'm at and the way I am.
Listen what he say.
Because
Look how Keefy look at that nigga.
Changed my life. I'm raising my grandkids, teaching them never to be like their papa.
The jury is hearing this,
Here
bro.
I am explaining to people what I used to be, and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. And you asking me questions that can hurt him. And like I told them, I'm trying to avoid to answer the questions that they might look at me and say something is wrong.
Well, let me put this way. Let me help you out with this.
Okay.
Man,
So,
jury is smart,
these
bro.
people right here,
They feel
what
this.
They want to know from you is, did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct. So outside of that question, right? The next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a Southside Crip shoots a Pyru Blood, and then a Pyru Blood shoots a Southside Crip? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Do I answer this?
To this person in the comment section, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Your name is Timmy Rath. You're totally wrong, sir. And you don't know nothing about law. Diddy's RICO was not about a murder. Diddy cannot be hit with double jeopardy on a RICO that has something to do with a whole different crime, buddy. Let me give you an example. If Diddy had a whole different racketeering crime with all different new witnesses, a whole different case in Cali, that's not double jeopardy, sir. Double jeopardy is if you try the same trial again. Learn law, brother. So you ain't busting nobody's bubble. You making yourself look stupid as fuck. And my people, a lack of knowledge and understanding destroy my people every day, nigga. Puffy would have a RICO murder for hire charge. That's completely different than a sex trafficking RICO in New York, nigga. He would have a murder for hire RICO in Las Vegas, nigga. The hell is you talking about? Use your brains, bro. What the hell is wrong with people, man? You come on the internet acting like you knowing something, you don't know shit, bro. Cut that capping ass shit out, homie. Now you got cooked, nigga. Now how you feel that you got cooked like that? See how I stir-fried you? I packed you up that easy, nigga. It could only be double jeopardy in the same case. And to the person who said murder across state lines, yeah, but a RICO can also come because you're talking about organized crime. Meaning gang members dealing with record labels. It's easy work, nigga. I cooked him so easy, he ain't even say nothing else. I cooked that nigga so easy, he ain't even got to come back. He done, son. Pack that nigga up. Get him on out of here, bro. These niggas don't even know the law. Oh, you can't do a double jeopardy RICO, nigga. He just had a RICO. No, dummy. He had a New York RICO on sex trafficking charges. If Florida wanted to pull him in on a whole different RICO on different witnesses in a different case, they could do it. If Vegas wanted to do it, they can do it. It won't be double jeopardy. The only way it'll be double jeopardy is if you pull those same people in with those same charges in that same area or anywhere else. That's the only way it'll be double jeopardy. Learn law, brother. Y'all coming here on what the hell you talking about. Now you got smoke and you ain't got nothing else to say. Nigga, pick your bottom lip up off the ground, bro. You got cooked, nigga.
You sure you want me to answer that?
You sure you want me to answer that, nigga?
No, I ain't gonna. I got to raise the word, Nick. But you asking me a question. I don't. And what I explained to them, I don't want to send him to prison.
Sure.
Even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you to prison. So that's why I'm here where I'm at and the way I am, because I've changed my life. I'm raising my grandkids, teaching them never to be like their papa. And here I am explaining to people what I used to be. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. And you asking me questions that can hurt him. And like I told them, I'm trying to avoid to answer the questions that they might look at me and say, something is wrong.
Well, let me put this way. Let me help you out with this.
Okay.
So these people right here, what they want to know from you is, did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct. So outside of that question, right? The next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a Southside Crip shoots a Pyru Blood, and then a Pyru Blood shoots a Southside Crip? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Do I answer this?
That's a straightforward question. It's a yes or no
You
answer.
can't.
Okay,
Did you see that?
when I was a part of that life, I was a part of that.
Once again.
And I was, no, because you asking something that's gonna hurt this dude. And okay, let me stop.
And once again, I want to emphasize.
When we got back to Compton,
Okay.
it was a gang war. People were getting hurt.
Okay.
People was being sought. People were looking for certain individuals from his neighborhood,
Okay.
as well they did mine.
Okay.
But Orlando, him, and certain other people were being sought because people wanted to kill them.
Sure. Were they the only ones that they wanted to kill?
Am I the only one up in here? No, they weren't the only one.
Okay.
It's his neighborhood in particular.
That's right.
But they were the main subjects of a gang war. They was in the middle, such
Sure.
as me.
So you're telling us that people back home somehow had some type of information that said that guy, as a bunch of other people, were involved in what?
In the murder of Tupac.
Okay. But my question to you,
Stop.
can you focus on me for a second, sir?
Yeah, I will.
And I apologize. I just want to make sure that we're clear, okay, for these people. In terms of that information, none of those people were there, right?
And what people you be speaking on? The people that was already in the neighborhood, or the people that left Las Vegas that same night Tupac was shot to go home, bear their arms, and go to somebody else's neighborhood
Right.
to look for somebody. They had to pay it back.
So once again, my question to you is that the information that I'm asking about is the people that back home, you're saying were eyewitnesses to this?
How could people back home be eyewitness to something that happened in Vegas? No, that's not what I'm saying.
The people that were here in listen to my question, sir. The people that were here in Las Vegas, you're telling me were eyewitnesses to what happened and went back home. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, the people that was at
Just
662.
answer my question, sir. Yes or no.
I can't
Is it
answer
a yes
that
or no?
without a what you call it. You trying to tell me to say
The lawyer's
something
a damn
that
fool.
you're not going to understand. If you let me explain to you,
No, answer my question.
I'm not answering nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, focus for a
No,
second.
I am focused, very.
Focus on this. My question to you is this. You didn't know what happened that
That's
night.
crazy.
You weren't there.
I was at 662.
Right. Do you know who that was there?
I know everybody that was there.
Okay, like who?
Talk to your lawyer, man. This dude is tripping. I'm not going to explain that. I can't answer that.
Okay, let me ask you this next question then. You are telling us that people back in Compton, for some reason, knew what happened here in Las Vegas.
A phone conversation. People found out when people left Las Vegas the same night Tupac was shot, went straight back to Compton. It only take 3.5 hours to get home.
Sure.
Yes, it wasn't a problem for people to find out what happened. No problem at all.
They got on their phones, they texted people, they let them know what happened here on the night of the shooting.
Yeah. They had walkie-talkies, they had all kind of phones. They had ways to call people to say whatever. But when people left Las Vegas that same night, after they found out and got in their cars and went home because it was a situation, Pac was shot.
Okay.
Retaliation is a mug. Come on, man. Like it was for real, for real. All of this was for real.
Now, the night of the shooting, did you have a walkie-talkie, a Nextel thing or something like that?
No.
Did Reggie, right?
I don't know what he had. I don't know how much money he had in his pocket. I don't know what he had on his hip.
But you were the head of securities, but you're telling us you did not have any type
Reggie
of
Wright, right-way security has nothing to do with the gang banging security, rules, whatever you want to call it. They had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
The phones that Suge had for certain individuals, they had the phones. Like the guy that was bodyguard for Tupac that night. Like some of the guys that was at the Tyson fight, like Suge Knight. Certain individuals had phones. Yes, they did.
Okay, so, all right, I get what you're saying. You're not there, but you're saying other people were.
Yes, I'm saying there was a lot of people there.
A lot of people were there at the shooting that took place.
That was in the entourage, yes.
Let's see. Okay, just one final question. You're here today, and I think the state had asked this question under a subpoena. You're ordered to be here today, right?
Yes.
In terms of that subpoena, for instance, is that's the only reason why you're here is because of that subpoena?
I don't have no other reason to be here.
Yeah. In order for you to get that subpoena, you were served that subpoena back in California
Yes.
by a police officer?
I don't know. He wasn't in uniform.
Okay. And that order required you to go to a court in
I
California?
had to go to court in Victorville.
And then that court in California said you have to show up here.
And in that court, I cussed them out and told them, you can't make me do nothing.
Right.
And in that court, they told me that I would be in attempted court. Me raising my grandkids, I'm not going to put my grandkids in the car and move somewhere so y'all can't find me. So all that running and living a different life, I ain't doing it. So I agreed to come. And I explained to everybody in here, you ask me something, I'm going to be honest about. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're going to have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not going to talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not going to send him to prison. You are.
So the accusation now is because of the fact that we're trying to ask you questions, you're blaming it on me.
You asking me questions. If I just answer your questions, we going to have a problem in here, a misunderstanding. And you're asking me something that wouldn't be good for him.
Right. And once again, I just want to look, we're just trying to figure out who shot Tupac. You're telling us that you weren't there at the scene. That's all I want to know. At the end of the day, that's it. Right?
Was I in the entourage when Tupac got shot? No.
Okay. Nothing else, right?
I was at 662. I mean, that ain't hard. That's easy math.
No further questions, John.
Anything further, state?
Jesus. No.
Crazy,
All right, got
man.
one more phase. And
He destroyed himself, bro. He destroyed that, bro. That's crazy, bro. That lawyer's a damn fool, man. That's the worst thing you could do is what that lawyer did, man. What that lawyer did right there, bro, it ain't no coming back from that. Right? Now, here's the guy right here, y'all, that's going to destroy and that's going to put Diddy into RICO in his trial. This guy right here, Kirk Burroughs.
A few years ago, I seen you in a documentary called Who Killed Tupac. You was on A&E, and you were speaking on the Quad Studios incident, and you went into detail about that. If you don't mind, can you revisit that for me?
Yes, Tupac, very soulful artist, came up from Atlanta from that, I guess, trail of issues that he was dealing with. The film, the basketball flick in Harlem that was set place there. He started giving love to the different artists that were around. Of course, he's a celebrity coming in. He was friendly with Big. He saw Little Sean, people like that. They wanted him to come and do a record. That was what was set up at Quad. Biggie, knowing Little Sean, they were all there. C's, all of them. It was just going to be a fun night at the studio. Pac showed up. He saw them looking down from the window. His new friends were there. An incident happened in the elevator. It might have been a scary thing, like just to send a message. Tupac standing his own ground, just didn't leave it at that. He ended up getting hit, getting shot. The elevator went up. Our people were shocked to see him in that state. He was shocked to see our people looking at him shot. He thought that they knew something about it. He thought if he was in New York and he was with all the rappers from the East, they must have known what was going to happen. It had to be in the wind, and situations aren't laid out like that. And it was the furthest thing from the truth, but he held that to his heart. And then he went away. A few other things happened, got better, got repaired, went away, went to jail on the rape charge. Once that came down on him, it looked as if the East Coast must have been the worst thing and the worst place for him to have come to. And it looks as if the friends that he had just turned their backs on him. Suge stepped in. And when Suge stepped in, he signed him. He signed him to a napkin at Clinton. And that letter that he sent through Wendy Day, she was definitely a person that was connected and a mediator between most everyone in the hip hop game and had been for a minute, legendary person. She delivered the letter to my office. It started with West Side Up. So it gave an indication of rumblings that we heard in the street with him being shined by Suge, which definitely true. He's going to go west when he comes back. And he has an issue with us, as he explained, from the studio scenario to the rape scenario, things that were happening in the street to him, extortionists, things that happened in the East, in a city where Biggie, being the king of New York, how did you not know? That's the way he looked at it. But it wasn't, I think he overplayed that in his mind because Biggie didn't know. I think Biggie would have done anything to help him if he did know. And Biggie was most sincere, I feel, in that friendship, in that kinship. There might have been other business people around that might have been pulling strings, but Biggie and him were pure. So we got blamed, and Biggie got blamed for what might have been extortionists, robbing, wanting to, get an extra meal, whichever way, trying to set up how they're going to, do that thing that they do.
So Tupac, he wrote you a letter while he was in prison letting you know that he had issues with Biggie and Puffy. Go more into detail about that?
Well, there's a little bit of a backdrop to the story, but here's what I want to talk about with what you exactly asked. We're working around the clock to make things work. We know that's what's going on in the newspapers. This happened with Pac, he's arrested. This happened, da. We hear rumblings. When I really knew what was going on, when I had to pick my head up out of my desk and writing checks and keeping up with 4 or 5 artist contracts and keeping the company going and payroll and all that, is when a woman by the name of Wendy Day, very important woman in the hip hop world, I think she helped Baby and those guys with Cash Money label, setting that up. She's very influential and instrumental in a lot of success. When I started in the music business, I reached out to her. She had a company called Rap Coalition. She went back and helped rappers from a previous generation get their money straight, their royalties. With that being said, I was like, she's someone I want to know. In knowing her, I had the good fortune of when she was dealing with Tupac during his crises on the East Coast, she went to visit him at Clinton. He wrote a letter, drafted it so that she can bring it to me at the office so that I could know and be able to relate to Sean where we were with him. And the letter, if I remember, it said, West Side Up. And what we had heard was rumblings that Suge came and signed him on a napkin to a contract, and he was going to go west, and all the stuff that happened to him on the East, and made it look like people on the East, the king or the biggest rappers on the East, or people that he knew, should have warned him or protected him against what had happened. And it just is not geographically laid out like that. And a lot of people caught some blame for things that they had nothing to do with. And he took offense, went west, and that started him as a mouthpiece against the East, all right, going at Biggie. And I think it's more than, that's one level of the beef. Then I think there's another level of things that were going on in the streets where things happened in the dividing line between East and West that caused a big rift that led to mouthpieces going at each other. So there were things that happened even before that that led to an opening and a rift. One thing I want you to know is that in Sean's defense, as far as East Coast West, when we started Bad Boy, maybe it was his tenacity, maybe it was his ego, but he felt it was a good idea to reach out and want to do and double ad in Billboard with Death Row. They don't know us, we don't know them, but of course we listen to their music, we're leaning in. Why not get attached to the other hot label that's going there, running that? We're about to run this in, let's be friends. I think Suge's office turned that down. It was a mock-up of what the ad could be like. It was a little bit maybe insulting, maybe to us, that they didn't want to do it. I think Sean got more insulted than he may have let on. I didn't take it bad because I could see why they wouldn't want to do it. And I can see that they can see through us why we would want to be attached to their wagon. Why wouldn't we want to hitch our train to them? But it helped us to stand alone. It helped us to be big boys on our own. But it started that emotional thing that led to the riffs that later led to the mouthpieces and insult.
Yeah, man, this thing is crazy, man. This dude, he gonna get in the court, y'all, and he gonna tell a whole lot of shit, man. I'm telling y'all this, bro.
Who shot you? What's that about Tupac?
All right, let me put this to you like this. We knew what we were involved in. I knew, Sean knew. The artist might not have known everything that was going on. And what I found is this is an excellent example of how my former business partner operates. He operates on a few different levels. One level, the masses will understand. That's the low level, common. Then there's another level in between. Then there's a higher level, principalities and power bases. He operates in 3-dimensional, if you can understand. So who shot you could mean a few different things for a few different people, but what it meant ultimately was what it was ultimately meant to mean, and it landed perfectly. C's and them might not think it was supposed to be for that. Biggie might not have thought that when he wrote the lyrics that was going to be used for that. But the way it was marketed by the company and released in the succession of things that were going on that we were dealing with on all the levels that we were dealing, that record did what it was supposed to do. And that's a perfect example of how my former business partner works and thinks. And if you can remember that 3-dimensional type of thinking, then you can start to pierce through a lot of the common things that are being told and then get to what's really behind those things.
So it was intentional then. So Puffy, he dropped Who Shot Ya after Tupac got shot at Quad Studios for people could think Who Shot Ya was about Tupac.
Yeah, I think if you're working 3-dimensional and you're playing 3-dimensional chess, first of all, we're always playing chess. Let's start there. We're always playing chess. Now, if you remember a show called Star Trek, there's such a thing as 3-dimensional chess. So now, with 3-dimensional chess, you're thinking on a few different levels. My former business partner thinks on a few different levels at one time. When you're sleeping, he's thinking on those different levels. So when you get that common message, there's 2 or 3 other messages behind that. So yes, it was meant to drop. It was meant to send the message that it did send. It was meant to aggravate a wound. It was meant to stand up and say something in the middle of what was perceived to be people coming at you. And we, after all, wasn't as big as we wanted to be at the time, but we wanted to be bigger. We didn't get to be as big as we wanted to be until Biggie died. That opened us up, his death. But we were working on it and getting there, and those were the challenges along the way. You had to stand up, because we did poke at them with that, and we acted like we didn't, but you know we did. Everybody know we did. Yeah, we did. I might not be as emphatic as I say it when you answer it, but you know we did. They knew we did. Yeah, who shot you?
Damn, man, that's crazy, bro. So you got Kirk going in there telling all this shit, man. Once he get into that court,
Who idea was it, man, for Biggie to go to LA so soon, knowing that Tupac got killed 6 months earlier?
The award show season was up. We had to go out there to participate in that. We had records that were nominated. We were a budding, launching company that already launched, and we were successful. We could not go. But Biggie did have an inconvenience. He had a car accident I think it was in Brooklyn, maybe downtown Brooklyn. He had a broken femur at that time, and he was recovering from that. Big size person, could not really sit comfortably in a plane, not even first class, with a cast on. It was uncomfortable. He was talked into going to the LA portion of the trip so that he could be out there ahead of time. He was out in LA so there wouldn't be a big rush and bustle to get him there. So I think he was out there for a good week and a half ahead of time leading into the event. So being out there, we came to follow up and to have that night. And then he was supposed to, as per Arrow's marketing department, Arrow, one of the best labels and distribution companies that you can have to back you, the legendary Clive Davis, who's backed so many artists, believed in Bad Boy so much, he put together a marketing campaign that was never seen before that campaign and still wasn't seen, but it was put together so that Biggie could receive an international press junket in London with all press from around the world meeting him that Saturday, Sunday, after the Friday award show night. He was supposed to go on an international flight with me. We have the itinerary still to this day. He was supposed to leave that early morning, go to London, and we would be out there for 2 or 3 days, and then he would go back to New York and go home. Diddy called Sean P. Diddy, whatever his name was during that time, called late Friday night, early Saturday morning, saying he's not going to London. Call Arista, cancel it. You go. You represent it. You go. He's not going. He wants to stay here in LA. Now, I know for a fact that he was prepared to go, would have loved not to go if his label owner had only said, you don't have to go, big. So we had a schedule to be in London, to leave early Saturday morning, take 2 flights or whatever, get over to Europe. A lot of money was spent and put into journalists from around the world, flying to one location in London, meet, greet Biggie, hosted by us, Bad Boy, big send-off. Nothing like that had been done for any other hip-hop artist to that date. Clive Davis was unique, a legendary marketing guy, and we were marketers too. So we knew how big of an event that could be. LA, in the world of flavor, was also impressionable too. In the world of people speaking, talking, the word, what's happening, the award show, that buzz, that's a big allure. We conquered that. We were supposed to be on a plane and out of there. Sean had his album that he was recording. He wanted to do some of it in LA. I think that was a bit of poking your chest out. We could have recorded that album completely in New York. A little bit of, I'm here doing this when you told me not to come here. I came to the awards show. We showed up. You told us not to be there. I went out on the town on Saturday. You told us don't be in your city. And going out on the town on that Saturday night, that's when we had reached the wall. Something that we probably should not have done. We might have overstepped our boundaries based on all the warnings, based on Puff's security, Gene Deal, who was there to secure Puff. All the other warnings that we got, that we needed more security, the snafu in the business world came in like this. You have a budget for everything that you do. The budget for Big in LA for the award show ended that Friday night, Saturday morning, when a new budget started to get him from LA to London, where he would be taken care of with security, his friends, and everyone that he wanted to be with him in the style that he was accustomed to handle the press junket. Man,
they gonna bury this dude, bro. These niggas know too much, man. They gonna bury this guy, man. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Salute to everybody. Support the channel, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all let me know in the comments, man, what y'all think, man. Wow, that's all I can really say, man. Tomorrow's gonna be crazy. I wonder who they got up for tomorrow, man. I'm gone.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.